Take your seat, Honorable Malema.
Ndlozi, you are recognized. Stand up on a point of order. Thank you.
If they arrest the commander-in-chief, then they must arrest all of us.
Dr. Ndlozi is the choice. This is a thinking machine.
Ndlozi and Malema's friendship dates back to almost 12 years ago during the formation of EFF.
I want Mbuyiseni to come and sing that song he was singing.
You could find them together in church.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Find them together in courts.
Mr. Malema and Mr. Ndlozi, you may be seated.
Thank you, sir.
If they arrest the commander-in-chief, then they must arrest all of us.
Spoke positively of each other.
Dr. Ndlozi is the choice. This is a thinking machine. It's not only, I don't know what God did with that boy. So he gives him the brain, he gives him the voice, he gives him the activism, gives him the humility.
The principle in terms of ethic, in terms of approach, Julius Malema has remained spotless. And all that's changed is President Jacob Zuma. The same Julius Malema who was called into court over SARS, the same Julius Malema over his SARS bill, for example. And I know he spoke with that about it being used as a political kind of, maneuver. But there are issues around that empirically, regardless of the political context. The same Malema who's, noted for his Heineken drinking and his Chivas Regal and his Breitling watch, is that the same Julius Malema who hasn't changed and who now leads your party, which you say holds the key to South Africa's economic future?
Absolutely. I mean, that everything that you've said doesn't provide a counter-argument for a person that can successfully lead industrialization, expropriation of land, that can be faithful to the Constitution, that will be able to lead in constant consultation with the people of South Africa, that will bring everybody on board. Heineken, really? I mean, President Mbeki drinks, we know it's one of the empirical things. He smokes a pipe. President Mbeki used to wear Louis Vuitton or some other label. I mean, what does it mean? It means nothing. Is that a counter-argument to leadership? No. President Mandela used to have designer suits. He would go to a designer to design a proper suit, cut properly fit for him. You're being petty. You're playing in the same narrative of people who are unable to raise their eyes and say, you have violated the law in this way. And no one has been able to prove what law he broke. And when they are unable to, they start putting a price tag on the food that he eats. I'm saying to you, he's still the same man and more braver than all the people in the ANC.
Take your seat, Honorable Malema.
Ndlozi, you are recognized. Stand up on a point of order. Thank you. Please.
They were a dynamic duo in Parliament.
All I'm saying is that you are so prepared to chase people who violate the rules and keep a man who violate the Constitution.
Honorable Malema.
You are prepared to chase
Did you see Dr. Ndlozi's reaction?
out
Honorable
people
Malema,
who are protecting the Constitution
please
in the name of the rules.
leave the
If there is
chamber.
anyone who must leave,
Honorable
it's this
Malema,
one.
leave the chamber.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm elected here.
We will assist you to go.
Wait.
We will assist
Let me
you to
tell
go.
you, wait.
Because
what
one thing
exactly-
We would like you to assist
That's
us.
what. That's exactly what made you not to be a candidate of the Women's League. Exactly that. Honorable Chair of the NCOP.
Honorable Malema, I have yet to rule on this motion.
Yeah, but you gave him a opportunity to speak before you even ruled on Godrich. Because the procedure is such that you must rule on Godrich before you give him. You broke your own rules, so allow me to proceed.
Proceed.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Again, did you see Dr. Ndlozi's reaction when Malema was given a go-ahead?
Chairperson of the NCOP.
There is nobody here who can give you lessons unless, Mr. President, they are able toe-to-toe to measure with you the experience and history that you have. And Mr. President,
But we warned against people who don't take advice.
As you
This is why Zuma failed.
These
Not
are the
taking
people
advice.
who want you against.
Honorable members.
You must
These
close
are the
your ears
people who
and
want
not
to
take
say-
advice.
She said that
Honorable
Zuma,
members.
this one,
As
said the
you well
same thing
know,
to Zuma.
You
Don't
are
listen
out
to
of
anyone.
order, honorable
Don't listen
members.
to these people. Where's Zuma today? If you listen
Honorable
to this,
member.
you are not going anywhere. You can be
Honorable
guaranteed.
Malema, please.
Never listen
Take
to this.
Honorable
She says
Malema.
to you, don't listen to anyone. What type of a leader can't listen to anyone?
I'd like to call the Honorable Minister Ginger Lindiwe Zulu to stop singing in the house, or she must be referred to the Powers and Privileges Committee. She's chanting yes, number one. She's distracting. She must be taken to the Powers and Privileges Committee because I'm trying to listen. She's chanting there, yes, number one.
You know.
Chairperson, point of order. My name is Lindiwe Daphne Zulu. The one who refers to me, Ginger, the ginger shall be outside.
On a point of order, Chair.
Yes.
This is where Malema comes in to defend his friend.
May I hear the point of order?
I think the Honorable Minister made a very serious threat against an Honorable Member. And it has been made inside the House here because we don't want to take things very light here. We've got a very bad experience. So I think she must be asked to withdraw that statement, please. That's a serious threat.
May you allow me, therefore, to check on answer and then make a ruling in the next sitting?
Honorable Deputy Chair of the NCOP.
Yes.
The member raised a genuine concern that she must not be called with names she doesn't know. Otherwise, she will meet this honorable member outside. And we know her tendencies. So can you please ask her to withdraw? Because this is going to degenerate. It's like we're in a shebeen here where people just threaten each other like that. And there is no order coming from you. There are secretaries there, they head here, they can confirm and you ask her to withdraw. Because we don't want this honorable member to be dealt with outside. This woman has got a picture carrying AK-47.
Honorable Malema, may you take your seat?
You are talking about history. What I'm telling you is not history.
Honorable
The clerk
Malema,
had
I
an
did not
interview.
recognize you. Please take your seat.
The clerk had interview last week.
Honorable Malema, I
and
did
said
not
apartheid
recognize
was
you.
not wrong.
Please take your seat. I will not take any further points of orders on this matter.
Speaker.
They spoke one language, always complimenting each other.
Honorable Ndlozi, if you address me on a different point, not on the matter of former President.
I'm afraid, Speaker, you have a constitutional obligation to respect the rules. You do not make them as you go. There is no such a rule that you are anticipating what I'm going to stand on and rule on it in anticipation. That's number one. You are a commander of Mkhonto Esizwe. You ANC members sitting here, you taught us, you said we must reconcile with these people because they accept the mistakes that they have made. That is history. That's okay. We're not talking about history. We're talking about last week. De Klerk takes platform in front of the whole world and says apartheid was not a crime against humanity. You must be ashamed you are sitting here clapping hands as ANC people. You must be ashamed. No one is even raising us. Speaker, no one is even raising a substantial argument in relation to what we are raising. You are busy clapping hands.
Honorable Ndlozi.
De Klerk is an apartheid
Honorable
apology,
Ndlozi.
not in 1990,
Honorable Ndlozi.
1994.
My ruling stands. Take your seat.
You must go and pick up ice for Malema and not disrupt Parliament. We can't be told by ice boys here.
Just like any other friendship, the two went through turbulence and name-calling, but still emerged strong.
His responsibility is to pick up ice for Julius whiskey. When Julius wants whiskey, he goes one goes.
We're not going to answer the question about Ndlozi and Ndlozi.
All was going well until Ndlozi stopped being seen in EFF meetings at the moment when some EFF leaders were leaving to join MK party. When Malema was asked about Ndlozi's absence, he said,
You've got his number and some of you talk to him, call him. I'm not responsible for Ndlozi and Ndlozi. 90% of the people who were here, who were expected to be here, are here. That's what matters. Whoever is not here was not supposed to be here from the beginning. So you are not going to reduce this organization to some individual. We are going to refuse that. We are going to refuse that. We gave a very long political report yesterday, like 80 pages. It didn't have such names. You are intellectually so inferior that you can't even engage with that document, and then you bring gossip. We must be monitoring movements of individuals. Why concern about one person over so many people who are here? As if he is the conference. As if he's not here, conference will not happen. It's going to happen, it's happening without him. It's not here. I heard people say, he's here, he's doing this. He's not here. He's not here. And it's not our interest to entertain such nonsense.
He continued selling the EFF agenda on social media platforms, but continued missing in action in EFF events and later resigned from Parliament.
I'm not responsible for sending those. I'm not his father. Not his father. Where he was, what was he doing?
On this one,
I don't know.
On this one, I think you're obfuscating because surely with the kind of organization you are running a tight ship. Let's be frank. You are not running a Mickey Mouse thing. This is a massive organization with 1 million members. Right? And it could be understandable if there was some just ordinary loose member who didn't pitch up for or who was not a delegate, right? But here you're talking about somebody you have promoted. Just recently, you are pitting him against Panyaza Lusuf. You're making fun of Panyaza. You say, this is incomparable.
You can't compare even now. Even now.
Yeah.
If you
so I can't be convinced.
If you want to question me about the qualities of leadership, let's debate that. Not his whereabouts.
No, I want to debate that you are not worried about why would you not be worried?
I'm not.
Why?
Stage is a village. Usboni stage is
stage
UN usboni ka NPA is a village.
So you're not worried that he didn't know where he was.
The leadership of the EFF, which was supposed to be there, was there.
Yeah.
So why must I worry?
So he wasn't told not to come to the NPA?
No, there's no such a communication.
He just voluntarily didn't come. So we need to ask him.
You ask him. I don't know.
Ask him. No idea even now.
No, I'm not even interested.
But you have a good relationship with him.
No.
You don't?
No, it ended at that time.
From there, it was no longer a secret. Ndlozi and Malema were no longer friends. After a long silence, Ndlozi came out to give his side of the story.
Well, I couldn't attend the conference of the EFF, the NPA, because over a dispute over my suspension. I was suspended about 6 weeks before the conference, and the suspension was unconventional in that it didn't rely on the code of conduct of the EFF summoned by its constitution, but largely the suspension rested on 2 counts. On the one hand, the leadership said that it's in possession of an intelligence report in which they claim that I'm part of the infiltration strategy by the MKP. I'm working with the MKP. I'm planning to go to join them. I'm waiting for some opportune moment. The second one largely rested on the fact that I knew about the then Deputy President Floyd Shivambu's departure, and I didn't tell the leadership. Of course, I was told to stay at home, cease my participation in Parliament and the rest of the activities of the EFF. And so it was very important for me because they said that the investigation is still ongoing, and when the investigation is finished, I then would be given an opportunity to respond to these allegations. I think we can all agree these are dangerous and very serious allegations. At a later stage, the leadership argued that the report would only be ready after conference, and the matter has been referred to the leadership after the conference. it seemed fair for me to wait to clear my name in relation to these allegations so that I don't function with a dark cloud on my head or a gun on my face. As I said, we cannot agree. These are very serious allegations that one had betrayed the revolution, had been disloyal, and that indeed you are a double agent of some sort. Of course, I can state categorically now that I never planned to join the MKP. I still don't. I never worked with anybody in the MKP in relation to some conspiracy about my departure. And I think that whatever information they say they have was based largely on lies. Secondly, I did know about the departure of Floyd Shivambu. He did come to tell me of his consideration, and indeed I did tell him that, look, you would have to take the leadership into confidence, and he did. The idea that I should have ran behind his back and informed other people or the leadership suggests that I'm an informant, a gossiper, or a wedge driver. I am none of those. It was Floyd's decision. He had to communicate it. It was not my decision. It was his. He had to communicate it, and he did.
Could this be the remarks that made EFF leadership think Ndlozi is on his way out to join his friends in MK Party?
My relationship with Mbuyiseni is not political relationship in J. It's a brotherhood relationship which has been there for more than 20 years now. But he holds his own political views in terms of how we should handle some of these issues.
Floyd was answering the question of his relationship with Ndlozi. In another interview, this is what he answered when asked about his relationship with Malema.
Reduce a platform this important. We were talking to millions of South Africans and want to talk about personal relations of people. That is really not a major issue. What is the next question?
It is said that everything that has a beginning, it has an end. And that includes the case of Ndlozi and Malema's friendship. But this one seemed to be a thing that would last. It was one of the finest young political dynamic duo that carried the hope of young Africans. Do you think there's a possibility of the two coming together in future? Please let us know in the comment section below. This marks the end of today's video. Let's make a date on the next one. I've been your host, Mary M. Muturi.